Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti. I am MrPhotographer.com. Recently, Topaz Labs updated Denoise AI to version 3.1.1, and there's some significant new features in this version of the application, and we're going to talk about a few of them in this video. Before I do, I just want to take a quick look at the changelog, and I have a link to this in the description below this video. You can see that for version 3.1.1, they really only have one fix. They fixed metadata not saving back to Lightroom. But what happened was, yesterday the 19th, they released 3.1.0 with all these new features that I'm going to be talking about in this video, but they broke something. They broke this ability that when you send something from Lightroom, it'll come back with metadata. It was coming back empty. So they fixed that right away. So that's why we have this. So we're actually going to talk about these major changes, at least a few of them, that were in 3.1.0. So I just wanted to clear that up. So if you have on your computer 3.1.0, make sure you update it to 3.1.1 so that it works properly when you use it as a Lightroom plugin. And that's what I'm going to be using it as today. So I have it in Lightroom. It of course works as a standalone. It will read raw files for those of you not familiar. So you could use it all by itself, send a raw file into it and reduce noise. It also will work as a plugin in Photoshop, and I think it works as a plugin in Apple Photos and some other apps as well. Again, I'll have links in the description below this video. Now this image was shot at an ISO of 6400, and I'll zoom in and you can see it has a significant amount of noise. In Lightroom, I've done nothing. You can see there's no processing done at all. I think probably lens corrections were done, and that is it. So I'm going to send it over into Denoise AI. I'm going to right click on it, go down to Edit In, and then go down to Topaz Denoise AI. I'm going to edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments. Unfortunately, when you use it as a plugin in Lightroom, you can't send the original raw file. You have to send it as either a TIFF, PSD, or JPEG. I'm going to send it as a TIFF, ProPhoto RGB, 16 bits per component, resolution of 360 without any compression. I'll click Edit, and you can see on the left-hand side at the top, there's a progress bar. Lightroom is creating a TIFF file with those specifications, and it opens up into Denoise AI. Now you can see I have 4 panels showing. That's because under the View menu, I have the Comparison view. So you can see that there's a view there. I'm going to move this over here so that we could see the bird's head and the background. That's where mainly the noise was, on that background and, of course, on the bird's feathers. Now, first of all, the first thing is they did some renaming. One of the AI models used to be called Denoise AI. It's now called Standard. So if you click on it, it's now called Standard. Another model was called AI Clear. Now it's just called Clear. So Denoise AI is now Standard, and Clear AI is just now Clear. So that's one just, change that isn't a big deal. But what they did do is they added another model called Severe Noise. Now you can see over here we have Standard. When I click on Clear, it's over in the lower left. When I click on Low Light, it's on the lower right, but we don't see Severe Noise, but we have an option for it here. This top left one is the original image, so we could compare these noise reduction models to the original image. When you click on Severe Noise over here, what it will do is it will replace whatever was originally highlighted. In this case, it was this lower right-hand side with Severe Noise. If, for example, let's go back up to Standard. If we're on Standard and I click Severe Noise, then it's down here again. So to get Low Light back, it's there. Now, see, so it gets confusing, but I'm on Standard now, up here in the top right-hand corner. And then I click on Severe Noise. You can see it replaced the Standard model with the Severe Noise model. So you can't view all 4 models at the same time. You could only view 3 of them at the same time. And you could flip-flop that Severe Noise in different spots. So just looking at it now, it works otherwise very similarly to how it worked before. We have settings. We have a Remove Noise slider. We have an Enhance Sharpness slider. In post-processing, you have an option to recover original detail and to reduce color noise as well. You also have an auto switch. I have, as you can see, for this severe noise AI model, I have it set to auto, so it just automatically examines the image and determines how much of noise reduction it should add and sharpness it should enhance. Same thing with standard. I have it set to auto, and you can see it flip-flop this view right here to standard. Same thing for clear. I think I have that set to auto. That's in the lower left. And hopefully you can see it in the video. That of the options is the worst option, at least as far as auto is concerned. I could come in and manually, of course, click on high. You can see how it turns auto off, and then it re-renders down here, and actually that looks a lot better. Then in the lower right is low light mode, and we'll click there, and you can see there's low light mode. Again, that's on auto. To me, just at first glance, using auto modes, standard and severe noise look the best. Severe noise is that new model, so that one looked pretty good with auto mode. Of course, I could kind of tweak it up a little bit. It has to re-render. That looks pretty good. I could even tweak it up a little more, and it re-renders, and then we could enhance sharpness. So I think that one looks pretty good, and I'll go with that. But before we leave the Denoise AI screen, I want to show you another feature. They have a submit feature request under the help menu. So if you go up to help, you could go down to submit feature request right there. So if you want Denoise AI to do something special that you think would help you with your workflow, definitely use that submit feature request and let them know. I have no idea, if they'll listen to you or not, but, give it a shot. Let them know your feedback, what you think it needs to make this app better, and it will benefit all of us. So I like the severe noise mode. So because I'm using it as a Lightroom plugin, all I need to do is now make sure that's the active mode, and it's got this blue box around it, whereas the clear mode and the low light mode do not have that blue box around it. So that means that this is the active mode. When I click apply, it's going to use that mode. So I'll click apply, and then you can see that it's now applying that to that TIFF file we sent over from Lightroom. And I'll bring up the film strip. I'll hit the F6 key on my keyboard, and we'll zoom in. I'm going to hold the command key in and draw on this bird's head so we're zoomed in. So there is our noise reduced image, and there is our noisy image. Now I probably should go up to view and then down to lock zoom position, because Lightroom annoys me that it doesn't lock the zoom position automatically. And then we'll go back to the original image, and there is the noise reduced image, original image, noise reduced image, and one more time. Original image, noise reduced image. So Denoise AI, I mentioned many, many times, it's my favorite plugin of every plugin in the world. It's the one I use the most, and they've made it better in my opinion. So it's now I'm even more in love with it. I think it's an awesome tool. I'm often shooting at high ISOs. As you can see, I like to do quote wildlife photography, although this was shot at a zoo, so it's technically I'm not out in the wilds shooting this image, but I'm often, out in places where I am shooting wildlife, and I go to a lot of zoos as well. And I'm often shooting at higher ISOs because of that. So I often need to reduce noise, and I have no problem with Denoise AI. Again, in the description below this video, I'll have a link to this changelog. You can see that there's a few more things they've added to it and changed in the application that I didn't cover in this video, so you could check it out. Also, I am an affiliate for Topaz Labs. I have a link and a discount code you could use if you decide to purchase it. You could save a few dollars on your purchase. Thank you, everyone who watches my videos. I really do appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys soon.